Well, folks, if you guys own a smartphone, a Chromebook, a Windows 10 computer, the big thing is now apps. Hopefully you have an aptitude for that. Apps are a modern term for software application. It used to be mainly for mobile app from on phones or a small piece of software that runs on a website. The idea behind it was that it wasn't a full-fledged software program, but now that's totally blurred. You can download and access the apps directly using your computer, smartphones, tablets, or other electronic devices, including smart TVs and smart watches. As you can see, there's three types of apps: the desktop, which mainly means Windows 10 at the moment, mobile, your smartphone, and webs. Web means basically that they're accessible through your web browser. The desktop apps usually are what we would used to call a program. They use mouses, keyboards, large displays. The equivalent of it is smaller, simpler, and easier to use versions. The mobile apps are designed to be accessed with a finger or stylus on a small screen. And if you have a touch screen on Windows 10, they can be accessed using your finger as well. You can use them for the following, if not more. This is not inclusive. You can file your income tax online, manage your finances, have text and video chatting, calendars, a to-do list, podcasts, maps, games, music, read ebooks. That's my favorite. I love to read ebooks. Watch videos, shop online, plan vacations, meals, medication. I have an app. I belong to Kaiser, so I have their Kaiser app, which gets me in so I can reorder medications and make appointments. Get reminders for pills. I use my alarm clock function for that. Track your blood pressure. You can use it to meditate, sharpen your brain by playing games or learning new things. And the important thing is, just because you have an app, they're usually updatable. A lot of times, like on my phone, which is a Samsung Note 9, I'll get a notification saying, you have apps that need uploaded, do you want to upload them? And you can pick when you want them to upload. I always prefer them to do so when I'm off online using wireless or cable. While it doesn't really matter, you should know that the Android extension is .apk. The iOS extension is usually .idp. However, both operating systems, Android, Apple, and now Chrome, and Windows 10, will also offer open other extensions if they have the right correct programs. So you can open photos, videos, music, etc. from these operating systems. As you can tell, the number of apps, this was 2018, is huge. And they're getting bigger every day. There's a big difference, though, between apps for the iPhone, iPad versus Android systems, because the iPad and iPhone, for those of you who have such a thing, know that you can only get them through the App Store of Apple. The most common source for Android apps is the Google Play Store. Now they call it Google Play. They've dropped the store. Amazon has apps for Android. The Microsoft Store has Microsoft apps. Chrome now has a web store that appears on Chromebooks. And you can download apps and extensions from that. I'm mainly dealing now with Android, Chrome, and Windows 10. However, you should know that Apple apps are considered to be almost completely safe to download, as Apple maintains control over the applications that are in the Apple Store. You may find them for free, or you'll have to pay for them. Usually the cost is fairly low if you have to pay for an app. Sometimes, obviously, a lot less expensive than buying the full-fledged program. Although I did notice the other day, as I was looking for a photo app, that they have an app for my Adobe Photoshop Elements, and that's $69. So it's not always less expensive. Downloading an app from outside Google Play is inherently unsafe because there's no central authority to vet them, since anybody with programming skills can write an app and make it available for download. Google has introduced its Google Play Protect, which helps keep your device safe and secure, and runs a safety check on apps before you download them. And this shows you how you can find out if your version is higher than version 11. Google Play Protect is already working on your device. It also is part of the Google Play. Here's a couple of screenshots that shows you how to find the services to locate what you're at. Now it checks your device for potentially harmful apps from other sources. Harmful apps are sometimes called malware. Now we have to worry about ransomware and other forms of malicious information. Google Play services will also remove harmful apps from your device and warns you about detected apps that violate Google's unwanted software policy because they hide or misrepresent information. What else do you need to do to stay safe? Well, I like to read the reviews because people who've used them will rate an affected app poorly and will warn others through the app review. And they'll also, by the way, rate it whether they like it or not or what the bugs are. But be aware that there are reviewers that are paid by companies to either give a positive or negative review. And this occurs in some of the apps like Yelp, for example. You should also use strong antivirus protection. I use Avast Mobile Security. AVG antivirus is free, but both are owned by Avast, so I see AVG probably disappearing within the next year, coming within Avast. Avira antivirus security is free. Bitdefender is free, sorta. ESET mobile security for Android is free, and Malwarebytes is free, except if you want the fancier version, then you're going to pay for it. When you sign up with an app store, download individual apps, you may be asked for permission to let them access information. We like the term stop, smell the roses, to mean don't just go ahead and click. You must or should read the app's privacy policy, which should detail what information they're accessing and how they'll use that information. You need to know that before you actually connect with any app. So at least read, or at the very least browse over the app's privacy policy, because they may be able to access, I get this, your phone and email contacts, internet data, calendar data, data about the device's location, the device's unique IDs, information on how you use the app yourself, which, by the way, can also record keystrokes and mouse strokes. It hopefully will tell you what the data the app will collect and why, and how we use it. You need to know, are you okay with that? There are probably similar apps that may not either do this or need this information. If you disagree with what they're looking for and what they're going to use it for, search for something else. You can also access websites you visit, apps you use, information you provide when using the apps. By the way, it's perfectly okay to lie about who you are, and where you live. Who the app developer is, what app stores you use, advertisers, ad networks, and they may share it with other companies. Now, this is very, very common because this is how they get paid. Remember, my favorite term is Tannstaffel. There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's why on the free things, you'll be getting ads. And you wonder why those ads seem to be directed toward you? Because the app is collecting information and sharing it. Some people like this. So check the privacy settings on your device, and you can look for ways to opt out of data collection in the app privacy policy. If you're using maps, it collects where you are, who you might know already, coupons for nearby stores. By the way, if you have the reward cards from almost anybody, they're collecting data from you and targeting you. Guaranteed. It provides location data to ad networks. Remember, all your devices, particularly your phones and tablets, contain GPS information. Then they combine it with other information from their other databases. And then they target ads based on your interest and your location. Some will actually allow you to choose just general ads, no ads, or maybe that you want to have ads about things that you're interested in. Sell advertising space for lower cost or to make money. Have you ever wondered when you click on a website or an app that there's a website that says advertisement? That's called click for space. So when you click on it, that company pays the website in one form or another for having the information there. So as we say, read the app permission. What do they need? Should the app really need the information? For example, does a flashlight really need to know your location? And are you comfortable with giving that information? When installing the apps, you may be given a list of what the app wishes to access, and you may have the opportunity to limit it, deny it, or skip the request and install without allowing the access. Read it. Don't just click on it. Now, a lot of people like to root their devices because you can get into the basics of the phone and get rid of a lot of the advertising or software that comes with the phone from the various providers. Apple's device, they call it jailbreaking. It gives you privilege to modify the software code on the device and install other software the manufacturer won't allow you to do. However, just a word of warning, it may void your warranty, it may shut your phone down. You better really know what you're doing before you root the device. Now, the Windows 10 app store is inside Windows 10. If you have customized your start menu, taskbar, and remove the Microsoft store shortcut, all you have to do is type store in the search box. And if you're going to use it a lot, you can just pin it to start for the taskbar. I personally don't use it. Then you click on the tile or the app to open the store, and they will start pushing what they want you to buy first thing. So charts, best selling, you can click on top free and explore what they have for free there. Now, were you going to use Spotify here as an example? By the way, if you don't realize it, Spotify has been bought out by Microsoft because their music store and selection did not take off. Nobody used it. So they decided to buy something that everybody was familiar with and did use. So chart, best selling, top free. Those are the other categories that you can pick. You click on the app you want to download. Read the details. Scrolling down to this app can find your permissions and see what the permission information is. Now take a look. You can access all your files, peripheral devices, apps, programs, and registry, and access your internet connection. If you don't want an app to use those features, you can choose not to install it. You can deny permission and be selective on denying some of the permission, but you have to really read it. Some apps or games in Microsoft Store are designed to take advantage of specific hardware or software capabilities on your Windows device. For example, a photo app might need to use your phone's camera. A restaurant guide might want to use your location to recommend nearby places. So you click Get to download the app, install, and then launch. Then you set it up. If you have an account, you just log in. If you do not have an account, you sign up, and it's free. Remember, Tanstaffel. Free means you're going to get ads. There'll be music ads. They could even be video ads coming into your smartphone or onto your computer. So if you don't want the app to load every time you turn on your computer, you can right-click on the taskbar and select Task Manager or type in Task Manager. Click on the Startup tab and then right-click on the app and choose Disabled or Disable. That's just to give you an example of how to do that. Google Play is probably the best and safest site to obtain Android apps. They check them using that Play Protect program and will remove those dangerous. But there's a huge number of them, as you saw from the previous slides, so may not be fully successful. Google Play is an app that will come pre-installed on your Android phone, just as the Apple Store is on the iPhone. You may either say, get a logo where it says, get it on Google Play, or you may just have that triangle. Now, they're coming up with a new one on Google Budget. So if you're spending too much money on apps, books, movies, TV shows, you can set a monthly budget. And when you get close to that, the budget that you set for yourself, Android will send you an alert notification. So for example, you'd go to the account, purchase history, set the budget amount and spending account amount, then save it. That will take you to purchase history, and you can see what you set and a small line graph. You can edit or delete it at any time, and obviously does not include any previous subscriptions that might push you over budget. It also makes it easy to track Play Store digital items. This gives you an idea of what it looks like. I personally don't use it because I'm a very big believer in free, and I'm willing to put up with some ads so that I don't have to pay for it. They will tell you that if you don't want ads, then buy here. Now, it's not the only place to find Android apps. My second and favorite place is an item called Gizmo. And it's a list of best free Android apps, which at the present time, or last year rather, included 220 apps and 118 calories. What I like about it is each one of the apps have been tested and evaluated by volunteers who regularly perform the service, and you can get diverse opinions. So this is their website, and they also have a free newsletter which you can subscribe to, which I do. It comes on a daily basis to my smartphone, and I click on it, take a look, and see if there's anything of interest. It's pretty neat. Make use of. It looks like mud on their on the logo, but it's moo, I guess, I don't know. It's a review and source site that is also very useful. And you notice that this site also contains stuff on the computer, Windows 10, Linux, bootable disk drives using ISO files. Notice 8 to 10 list apps that will sync all across your devices. Anyway, there's a ton of really interesting stuff on that. And again, most of it is free. This is if you clicked on the 10 best apps on the Google Play Store, which is now, remember, Google Store, there'll be a list put together by a particular person or persons that you can go through and see if these are apps you want. Amazon, of course, has a ton of apps, and needless to say, the top ones are the ones that they're pushing. But you can see apps and games, books, cards, communication, customization. It goes on forever. Now, .tech is another one of these companies that provides reviews, news, tips, and tricks. For example, how to record your desktop screen, edit and export it with a tool. How to use audio tags. I mean, these are pretty nifty things and a good way to go because they're actually written for people like most of us who are not huge tech geeks, and obviously you don't need to know how to code to do these things. Caveat, always be sure you've got your backup done before you start doing this stuff. Now, Chromebook apps are interesting because they're designed to be used with Chromebook and also Android operating system, smartphones, and tablets. When you're in the Chrome Web Store, you can check a box to make sure that the app will work with your Chromebook. Because remember, when Chrome first started, it did not run absolutely everything. It still doesn't. Now, to add to your confusion, as you can see, they provide extensions, which are programs that are added to the Chrome browser. On why? Chrome is the operating system for Chromebooks, whereas Android is the operating system for the Android smartphones and tablets, and Windows 10 is an operating system for that PC. But if you use Chrome or Firefox or Opera as browsers, they also have extensions that work with them, similar to these Chromebook browser extensions. Again, Google Play will show you what you've previously installed. This is from mine. Another item that I subscribe to is Drippler. This is an app for your smartphone, which provides daily information regarding your smartphones and apps, and gives you not only reviews and information, but also gives you links to videos on various items. A very handy source. Now, you can see we've got a lot of sources listed here. Amazon, Apple, Chrome, .tech, Drippler, Gizmos Freeware, the Google Store, MacPaw, how to tell if an app is safe, make use of for Android, Tech Radar Pro, which is security app reviews, how to make sure your apps are safe with Google Play Protect, free antivirus, now Avast, AVG, Evira, Bitdefender, ESET, and Malwarebytes. Then here's some other good stuff about how to manage, download, update apps from the Google Play Store. Gives you information from them, how to do it. Here's support at apple.com, which shows you how to use the Apple Store. An article from PC Mag on how to find, download Microsoft Windows Store apps. And a few others for Bitdefender, ESET, mobile security for Android, and also Malwarebytes. Then install and manage Chrome Store apps, Livewire, Beginner's Guide to Apps. Another one, what's a third-party app? How to use the budget feature, which we just sort of demonstrated. So that's pretty much about it. I'm open to any questions, of course, but let me give you a few just summary tips. First of all, read what you're doing before you download anything. Check to be sure what the permissions are that they're asking for before you just blindly accept them. It's always a good idea, as we constantly tell everybody, to be sure before you download something as an application, a program, etc., that you have a backup. I personally use devices that back up automatically daily, both for my smartphone and for my computer and Chromebook. So that's about it. I thank you for, coming on and attending. If you have any questions, you know how to use the chat box. John, I'm basically done.
Okay,
You
well,
want to step in here?
we'll give them a chance to pop any questions into the chat box so they can ask them. I'll share, one point with the group that you talked about with the apps, knowing what they do. I'd been using the McDonald's app for a good while ago, because I would get coupons for deals and stuff. I understood that they needed to do my location, so they would know where I was to make sure that the coupon would work in my local store. But all of a sudden, I found out, checking their apps and what it connected to, and it was connecting to all my contacts. I said, no, there's no reason that McDonald's needs to know and access all my contacts. So that went off my phone.
Sure. And your contacts are wondering, why the heck am I getting ads from McDonald's?
I know, it's my fault. Could you mention some apps for backing up a smartphone?
Well, yeah. I do this, the simple one, which is I plug my smartphone into my computer and just drag and drop all the data into a separate folder on my computer. That's the easy way. I use Google Photos for any photographs that I take, because that automatically uploads any picture I take on the phone, as well as anything that I'm working on my computer, and they sync it all over the place. For example, the other day I uploaded a video file because it was too big to send via email or by my phone to somebody, and I got it up to Google Photos where it's stored, and it said share, so I simply put the person's email in and a short note what it was and sent them the link so they can download it and have it. But all my photos, and particularly those taken with the smartphone, are there. Avast has a good backup system. One of the reasons I like Avast is because I also use their other features of security and location of the phone and battery savers stuff. And then as far as any other stuff, that's all I personally do, because it's synced to my computer. So the stuff, the notes and things I take end up on the computer anyway. And then since the computer backs up daily to the cloud, either Google Drive, or I use iDrive, which I pay for, it gets done automatically. So that's the way I do it.
Yeah, some phones have the provider has software that'll back up to their servers and stuff. You can do that.
That's true.
But,
Verizon has a backup service, which is free for, I think, 5 megabytes. I mean, it's not very big.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you if you reach the top and if you want to buy more.
Always buy more, and I think iPhone does that too. But for people who have the smartphones that have not learned how easy it is to just take the cable that you charge your phone, plug it into your computer, you might have to change a setting on the phone that says allow transfer, and then you just copy it over. It works out really easy. And it goes back and forth. You can copy things from your computer back to your phone, or your phone to your computer.
Yeah, now, for instance, I just went to the Google store on my phone and typed in backup, and it came with a whole bunch of stuff on how to back up Verizon Cloud, backup and restore, app backs up, easybackup.com, blah, blah, blah. Sprint has a backup app. So it's all there, and most of it's in the Google Store. So, as I say, that's the safest place to go, particularly for something like that.
Mm-hmm. I think you said that when you use Avast, that's backed up to a cloud's storage location.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure where it goes because I've never had to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I like it. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So one person's asking about your backup procedure, that when your computer's backed up, you said OneDrive and iDrive. Do you have a local backup too?
Well, actually, I have 2 hard drives connected to the computer that I switch between, and I do that not daily, but once a week, and then I turn it off.
Good.
So that way, if something goes bad, the backup stays there at least on a weekly basis. iDrive is in the cloud, and that works really well. Fortunately haven't had to use it,
Yeah.
but it's well worth the peace of mind to do it.
Yeah, I think that I was pretty sure that you were doing it to a local hard drive and to the cloud, so you were having multiple options on that. Somebody said that Android backups don't normally back up settings, just the app's APK and maybe contacts. So I think you need to look at your software to see what it is and isn't backing up.
Well, see, that's why I back up. I take the entire phone, internal and external storage, and move the whole thing into a folder.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to back up, it goes right back into the phone, and they have to store the data someplace, so it's got to be there.
Yeah.
But these phones are, they do what they want to do. I swear that there's a little phone devil sitting on top of them, hammering away. When you think you're doing one thing, it says, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah. One of my friends just commented that with an Android, if you're using your Google and your Gmail, that instead of your contacts being on your phone, if you're using Gmail, anytime you get a new phone, when you just log into your Gmail, everything comes back all right away on that.
Well, yeah, that's why I use Gmail, because it syncs to all my devices. In fact, it was interesting. I got a new tablet as well, and I was just doing some syncing to the phone, and I'm wondering where this notification sound is coming from, and I looked at the tablet and it was updating at the same time.
Yeah, thanks. Since you mentioned the Chromebook, we'll stretch and go roundabout way and ask you if you have a recommendation for like a middle of the road Chromebook.
Well,
that somebody doesn't want to spend the high money but wants something better than the bare bone.
Well, as with any computer, the first thing you do is decide what do you want to do with it. Because a bare bones will do most anything you want, unless you want to do something very specific. Now, I particularly I made a mistake. My first Chromebook, I bought cheap because I was going to demonstrate it to the club and I wanted to play with it. I think I paid $150 for it. Works fine. My wife loves it because she took it over. But it doesn't have a touchscreen. And I had gotten so used to using the touchscreen on my phones that the next Chromebook I bought to replace the one she appropriated had a touch screen and flips, so it can be a tablet as well as you know, a screen laptop computer. Also, because I have dropsy, that means I drop things a lot. I paid a little extra for it, and I bought one that was, quote, ruggedized, which, according to their ad, says will take a drop from 6 feet without damaging it. To me, all that was worth it, but it added to the price, so I paid a little over $400 for my Chromebook, which was an Asus Flip. But you have to understand the limitations of the Chromebook, because you have to understand that it's got limited memory. So if you're going to do something that takes a lot of memory, you're going to need to plug in a good-sized thumb drive or an external hard drive to use that. And it's also designed to use wirelessly, although you can use it offline. I have Word on mine, the app Word, because I use that for everything, but I like Google Docs. But Google Docs is not a full-fledged program like you get in Microsoft Office. So, you know, these are the trade-offs that you're going to end up using.
Do you know whether or not, like on the bare bone one, whether it would use the Android apps okay?
Most likely. I say that most likely because the way to do it nowadays, because if you buy a new Chromebook, the odds are it will come with the Chrome store on it, as well as the Play Store. If you click on the Chrome store, when you go through it, you can actually pick a checkbox that says works with Chromebook. So then it limits the search to all the Android apps and what have you that will have been shown to work with Chromebooks. So it gives you a very good filter to use. So, but like for instance, I have some members of the club, they're big Photoshop users. And I don't mean Elements, I mean the biggie. And I know one person, I use GIMP occasionally. These programs are too big for the Chromebook.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do heavy video editing or photo editing, then they're not the ones to go for. You need the power and the memory of a bigger and more powerful computer, is my opinion.
I will just kind of throw in and mention that if you have lots more questions about Chromebook, that we have an expert. He's in this hall right now, Huey Poplock, and he has lots of videos and quite a bit of information. So you can check our website and maybe get the link and check in with Huey and find out all you needed to know and want to know about Chromebooks, because he's really investigated that a lot.
Yeah, well, I did use Huey's video for myself. It was very informative.
Yeah.